So we're here today with Lorin, who is a movement coach. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, Lorin, just starting off, is what inspired you to get involved with coaching movement?
Well, I come to movement coaching by way of mime.
Well, I know from your background that you actually trained with Marcel Marceau, and I mean, that must have been an incredible experience in itself.
It was. I've tried to find different and interesting ways to apply mime to acting that are not necessarily mime in the way that we think of mime, but in a broader sense where you can use mime skills and mime techniques in other types of acting. It's always been a natural thing for me to pay attention to the movement aspects of playing a character, but I guess the more I studied it, the more I realized just how fundamental a part of playing any type of role movement can be. Not just roles that have unusual movement requirements, but really any type of character, even ones that seem very straightforward. I came to realize the more I studied movement, just how important that is and just how much of a performance is expressed through the body.
When you're working on a project, when someone calls you up to assist with coaching the actors, what are some of the first things that you do when you're meeting the actor and getting a sense of them as a person and what they'll have to do as their character?
I talk to them about the character they're going to play, and we discuss how that character is going to move and why they're going to move that way. I usually will try to assess the way that they move themselves in the process of trying to pick up on the character. As we work on it, if I see that they're, once I see them start to move, then I begin to notice their own movement habits, particular things they do and tendencies they have that they may not even be aware of. And I will, if necessary, I'll bring those to their attention in the process of trying to change their way of moving into the way that the character needs to move.
When you're working on a project, what's the timeline that's beneficial for you? Like if a producer is thinking about hiring you as a movement coach, what works for you? Is it getting the script first, understanding what the needs of the character would be?
I like to get a script ahead of time, not only so that I have time to prepare and to try and analyze it for what I might want to work on, but also so I can understand the whole context. Movement is not easy. It's almost always harder than either the director or the actor thinks it's going to be. And actors appreciate having the time, because they like when we're able to do rehearsals, especially prior to the day when we have to shoot their scene. I should mention, the movement of the character always goes beyond the physical. They're always, it's never, well, I shouldn't say never, but it's most of the time it's not just a matter of getting the character down physically in terms of how does the body of the character physically work. The other aspect of how the character is going to move is about who the character is inside, because movement is just as much about expressing the personality and the motivations of the character and the thoughts and feelings of the character as it is about how the character is physically. So once you've got the foundation of a character who's built like this, has to move this way, then you have to add the other layer of, because of who they are, because of what this character's personality is, they're also going to move like this.
Right.
And that's something that you have to take into consideration.